Hello, hello, hello. This is Demi from Flintstone Media. Welcome to the second episode of the Curve the Cube podcast. Again, Curve the Cube is a South Florida media, arts, and entertainment podcast with the goal of giving insight and inspiration to you on how you can pursue your own dreams outside of a cubicle. And on this episode of the podcast, we have Andrea Ocampo, who is seriously so, I already knew she was, sweet and nice. She is so funny and so much fun, and this was just such a joy to record. She really, really came to have a good time, and the glass of wine I gave her really added to it. But Andrea is currently the arena host and reporter for the Florida Panthers, amongst many other things. She's been in the industry for 15 years, started out as a cheerleader for the Miami Dolphins based on her dancing background, and she's parlayed that and networked that into doing all kinds of stuff on air, off air. She's phenomenal. She is a workhorse. She knows how to make it happen in the industry, and she really gets into some pitfalls and of her own journey and what people can look out for. And she just had a great time, a really, really great time. Oh my gosh, this is just great. I love this podcast. So anyways, we sat down, she gets real, and we just had a good time. Her company is relaunching her blog called Media-Gypsy. So I really encourage everyone to go to Media-Gypsy, GYPSY.com. You can also check out her own website, AndreaOcampo.com, and really see what she's getting into. She's super cute, super smart, and just on her way to becoming a huge South Florida media mogul, and I wouldn't be surprised if she really just takes over the world and ends up with her own national platform. So she's pretty phenomenal. Anyway, this podcast is sponsored by Dior Fashion. And Dior Fashion is a South Florida style high fashion boutique store. There's several locations throughout Miami and Pembroke. You can follow them on Instagram to get their special promo codes, but go to their website, Dior Fashion. It is spelled DORFashion.com, and you can find out their information there. And yeah, great podcast, and I loved at the end that she and I totally geek out. I won't say what the subject is, but we just nerded out for a good solid while on something we both were surprised that each other love. So I definitely walked away with a new partner in crime for this particular topic and a new friend. Anyway, with that, I'll say enjoy the podcast. Curve the Cube will now initiate. So what have you been doing today? What are you up to?
Well, it's awesome because I don't have any games this weekend. So when I see that I can sleep in, that's what I do. I sleep in, and my goal is to just drool.
Oh,
my heart's
absolutely.
content, and then just, let it be.
That's true, because you do all the games, and you do so many games, so your schedule isn't there's no such thing as a Monday through Friday.
No.
Is there ever a day we have zero responsibility?
Like today I have zero responsibility, and I cherish days like
Oh,
this. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for sitting with me on your zero responsibility day.
Absolutely.
I'm so flattered.
When you said there was wine, I'm like, I'm there.
That's so yummy. Riesling's my favorite too, so.
Cheers, my friend. That's definitely my favorite too.
So let me ask you about, what do you think? My first question I wanted to ask you, when I was looking at all the stuff that you're doing, all the stuff that you're about to do, because you feel like you have so many things that are just about to launch.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel makes a strong, independent woman in 2014?
Ooh, that's such an awesome question. A strong, independent woman, honestly, is just being free. Mm-hmm. And that means so much. Being free in terms of, financially, being free, living your dream, free, being able to just do whatever the hell you want and not having to answer to anybody.
Right.
You know, what your heart desires, and not really having any doubts or really having any fear to hold you back.
Right.
I think that's an independent woman. I think it's harder to achieve. I think it's hard to achieve in general, honestly, the freedom.
Right.
Because obviously we have life, we have
right.
real
responsibilities.
But yeah, being independent is really being able to live your bliss.
Absolutely.
And sometimes to get there is a little challenging.
Yeah. Has it always been your goal to be, you know, I mean, doing what you do, you're in this public spotlight, you know, you're involved with sports and media. What was your dream when you were a little kid?
It's so funny because when I was little, I wanted to dance. Dancing was my passion, and
it's also culturally important. I mean, I know for me, you know, I have a Caribbean background, and for us and Latinos, it's all kind
absolutely,
you know,
you know,
so ingrained.
I'm originally from Colombia, so just the arts was very important in my family. My mother was a singer, and she used to play guitar. And,
wow.
Yeah, my father actually had a passion for aviation, so you know, it was very ingrained since I was little to really follow your dream. And
oh, that's so nice.
yeah, so what was the question? I think
I
haven't had breakfast.
Oh my gosh, you haven't? Andrea! This might get very interesting.
Like, wait, what?
I think my question was, has it always been your dream to do what you're doing, and what was your dream when you were a kid, that type of thing? Yeah.
Well, when I was a little girl, honestly, I just love the arts, and I really think it started to take form when I was in high school and I'm going into college, and I knew that I wanted to get into broadcasting. I knew that when I was like 16, 17, but at the same time, I didn't want to let go of the dancing dream.
Right.
So honestly, I went full force ahead into the dancing world as well as into the broadcasting world.
What kind of dancing did you do?
Well, I was in jazz, I was in tap, I was in lyrical. I did a little bit of everything. I never did ballet because I thought it was too slow for my taste. But looking back, I really wish I did take ballet classes. But
yeah, each type of dance adds a little bit of the piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if people out there, if you want to become a dancer, I say start with ballet because that's really will help your technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys too.
It's amazing what ballet can really do.
It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you get into cheerleading then?
Well, I started going to really great dance schools in South Florida, and it was more of like a hobby. I just, you know, I was really focused on dancing hip hop, really focused on dancing jazz and all that stuff. And then turning 18, I started dancing at the University Center for Performing Arts in Davie.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just loved it. They had the most amazing teachers, and all the girls there were just so much fun, and I created a small community of friends that we would just always go to dance classes, and we would go to a whole bunch of auditions all over South Florida.
That's so fun!
Yeah, and it was just, you know, a really great way to put yourself out there, but I was surrounded by friends, so it was a little safe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I started cheerleading because the first audition that I ever did was for the Miami Heat Dancers, and I was, 18, not knowing what I was getting myself into. I made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And then I really liked the audition process. So the next audition that all the girls went to was the Miami Dolphins. So I was very blessed and very lucky that I got chosen to be a part of the Dolphins.
Wow, first try.
First try, and honestly, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just wanted to dance. Little did I know it was a very prestigious
you didn't know being a Miami Dolphins dancer was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to require so much of me, but to tell you the truth, it really was the best decision that I ever made, because I would have to say it's an amazing boot camp for life.
What did it require?
Well, let's see, at the time, I was the youngest recruit at the time because I was turning 19. You needed to be a full-time student or have a full-time job.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really great. And
in order to not have this be your full-time focus, is that what?
Yeah, I mean, what they really want are well-rounded women.
Gotcha.
You know, that definitely have a full-time job, that have a goal in their life. I mean,
right.
The whole goal wasn't just to be about
good role model type of women.
Absolutely, and at the time, the girls that were part of the squad were very accomplished. You know, we had lawyers, we had, you know, police women.
Wow,
you know, it was
kidding.
it was very interesting. It was very diverse. So that was the requirement. You needed to know how to dance and follow choreography, and little did I know I was really the start of building my infrastructure in the world of entertainment. It was really amazing.
Awesome. So how long were you doing that?
I did that for 3 years. and I traveled the world.
Really?
Yeah. I went.
So it wasn't just in the U.S.?
It just, yeah. I mean, like what we do, we dance obviously for during the games, and a lot of times we get hired all over to do appearances. So that was really neat because I was really young and it was really the first time that I was coming into my own and being in that environment.
Coming of age type of that's an amazing experience. What was your favorite place that you got to travel to?
I would have to say Monaco, France.
I've been there.
Isn't it beautiful?
That's because I think I've been there. That's the one that has the rock beaches, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've been there. So I'm like, wait a minute, am I lying?
I've totally been there.
Am I lying? Not lying. That's awesome.
It's like, what? Yeah, that was really awesome just because I was so young, and little by little that gave me the opportunity just to really discover the world and really find out who I was and get comfortable in my own skin.
It's so important.
Yeah, because that was really tough just because, I was surrounded by amazing women, beautiful women, skinny women, and then when you're young, you're very impressionable and you realize that,
Did it ever get in your head a little bit, like the pressure-wise?
Absolutely.
What was that like?
I don't think people realize how tough it really could be for people, I guess, whether it's in the entertainment industry, or if you're a dancer, if you're a model. I mean, we had to maintain a certain physique. And I love brownies. And I have a sweet tooth. And at that time, I really wasn't educated in terms of health or fitness. So it really was challenging for me to try to maintain a certain body type when before that wasn't my goal. So that, it definitely was. And the uniforms hurt little. Yeah, the uniforms were little.
Super tiny.
Yeah, kind of gave my dad a heart attack. Poor daddy.
Aww.
Yeah, but it definitely was a lot of stress to try to stay a certain way. So
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, especially with being, having so were you a full-time student at the time? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I was a full-time student.
So maintaining your school schedule and the games and the practices and all that stuff.
Of course. So
and then trying to still keep everything physically
together
at a certain level.
Yeah. That was definitely tough, and of course it got into my head, and just like everybody, you have insecurities, and I was the shortest girl on the team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was the one at the end of the kick line because I was a shorty. So it was definitely, I had a lot of insecurities at the time, but for me, thank goodness, I was able to maneuver being on the squad in a healthy way.
Good.
I had my tough moments, but I had really great people around me that encouraged me and that would always worry about me. And thank goodness I never really got into anything crazy, or whether it's diet pills. Yeah. I did drink a lot of Slim Fast, but that's so gross. That Slim Fast did not help me.
The only one I've ever had that I actually thought was semi-decent was the chocolate.
But you're still hungry after. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Yeah, so I went on a Slim Fast binge for a while, and I'm like, I could not do that.
Yeah. So, do you think there's more pressure to be a certain physical standard as a woman than there is as a man?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Especially now that plastic surgery is so popular, especially down here in South Florida.
Please don't ever get any, but you're adorable.
Oh,
don't
thank you, girl.
I mean,
thank goodness I've never done anything, but you have your moments where you're like, man, you think, and you're surrounded by it. But yeah, as a woman, you definitely are held to a certain standard, and unfortunately or fortunately, that's how it is. I don't know, it really depends how you look at it, but there's a lot of pressure, for sure.
I mean, wow. Do you feel like there's pressure on you growing up as a woman and going into a field of entertainment and seeing that you have role models yourself, and now perhaps you're becoming a role model? Do you feel like there's pressure to be a good representative for women or for Latinos, or?
I mean, of course, there's pressure. There is pressure, but it really is what you make it. Yeah. Because I knew I was young once, and I looked up to so many people. But I think it's an honor and really a responsibility. Sometimes you're thrusted into the spotlight without really asking for being, that you're a role model. I mean, I get letters from little girls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you do have a responsibility. Aww. And I personally want to try to make the best decisions for myself, and if it can reflect outwardly, then that would be great.
Of course.
But it's definitely, it's a little stressful sometimes.
I'm sure. What was it like for the first time you started, like, getting recognized? I'm sure you get recognized.
It's weird. I would have to say it's weird, and I always say don't believe the hype. You know, it's like people have a perception of if you get recognized or if you're in the spotlight.
Right.
I just look at everybody as a friend. You know, I don't know if it sounds like naive, but to tell you the truth, I try not to believe the hype.
Okay.
Because it's here one day, it's gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really let that get to your head.
Yeah.
You know, and when people can really level with you and realize that you're just like them, I think that's where I really enjoy my connection with people that recognize me out there.
How do you stay so grounded? How do you keep your head, level?
Because to tell you the truth, this industry, it's wonderful and I'm blessed and I love it. It's so much fun. It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
But it's an illusion. It really is an illusion. I mean, people think that you have this amazing life and that you're swimming, that you're swimming in money and, that you wake up like this. It's like, are you crazy?
That look you just gave was awesome.
So I don't believe the hype. It's just really important to surround yourself with amazing people that just really know who you are 100%.
Right.
And I think once you really believe the hype and you start really believing the illusion, that's when you start running into the danger of all the fakeness.
Right.
And just really letting the pressure.
And needing that pull maybe for the plastic surgery. And
exactly.
All that
stuff. And at the end of the day, if you want plastic surgery, absolutely go for it, but do it for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Not because a producer wanted you to look a certain way, it's because you want it, not because your boyfriend or producer, you think you have to fit this mold.
Absolutely.
I'm 5'0". I believe in amazing push-up bras. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Right.
But you want to do it for the right reasons, not because of what you see on TV or what's out there.
What do you think is the biggest misconception with either you as a person or with what you do, or both, like either one?
Well, like I said, it's an amazing industry. It's so much fun. I love what I do because, one day I could be on the sidelines interviewing football players or hockey players, and then one day I could be on a red carpet. It's very glamorous. But to tell you the truth, I personally work freelance. So there's seasons where I'm working nonstop.
Yeah.
It's very glamorous and it's wonderful. You're wearing designers, and the next day you're not working anymore. Why? Because, like I said, I'm freelance. There's times where things are slow. And if you're not booking work, you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my rent?
Right.
So it's a situation, personally for me, it's always thinking 5 steps ahead. And if I have to get my 9-to-5 job, I need to get the 9-to-5 job. And I work in marketing on the side. So when things are super slow, I'm at a car dealership doing marketing.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? So people think, like, maybe I'm drinking margaritas on
a
sandy beach on a Monday.
Taking a tan.
Absolutely not.
I have that Panthers game in half an hour. Let me go.
Exactly. No way. Like, for me, I'm constantly working just to always, whether it's to survive, just to make sure I have bills to pay.
Right.
So there's that misconception that I'm living the life.
Right.
I don't work hard like everybody else. Child, please. I have that job when things are not busy for me.
Right. Right.
And it's funny because when people actually go to the car dealership, people are like, "Don't I see you on TV?" I'm like, "Yep." But I'm like, "Would you like to see this brand new car?"
Hey.
Yeah. So it's a little challenging, but that's personally is my reality.
Right.
But I'm taking steps to change it, to start shifting out of the 9-to-5, and I'm about to launch my company. So.
Right. I want to get into that, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one quick question I wanted to ask you is, how strategically important is it for people who are trying to break into, entertainment? Is it to be realistic and maintain a job, until you get to the point where you feel like. In other words, I feel like sometimes people make the mistake of thinking, you know what, I can leave my job and just, start mixing tracks.
Hollywood, here I come.
Right.
You know what? It's very important to be realistic. But
is that a pitfall you see a lot?
I do, but I think it's a balance between living your dreams, being realistic, and finding the happy balance between the two worlds.
Right.
And at the same time, you have the people that are so gutsy, that will drop everything and do it, and they do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're always going to sacrifice one thing for another. It's not always going to be bluebirds and butterflies. It's not, and you're always going to sacrifice one thing for another.
Right.
So for 9 to 5, if you're going to drop your regular income, and if you want to be a singer, so what does that mean? Yeah, you can be singing throughout the entire day, but what are you going to do to make a living?
Right.
You need to be, an amazing singer to start making money right away,
Exactly.
or maybe you have to be a waitress at night,
Exactly.
or have some type of skill that, whether you can do carpentry or sell paintings or whatnot, you have to be very, very savvy in that regard, because before you know it can get really tough out there. But I think it's just really finding what works for you,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly not let the fear stop you from at least trying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole idea behind the podcast, is to get people that little bit of inspiration so that they feel like, they hear people who are doing it,
Mhm.
and maybe feel like they can, and this is how other people are achieving the dream. And so, I want to break people out of their cubicles.
I mean, I really love that concept, and I am such a believer in chasing your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying drop everything that you're doing, drop all of your responsibilities to go be that juggler that you always wanted, or whatever it is.
Juggler.
I don't know.
Random words.
Whether it's a juggler, a singer, whatever the case may be, but if you can take that one step to really step out of the cubicle and become that singer that you wanted, and that can just mean getting a coach, a singing coach.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a singing coach, and that's just putting it out into the universe that this is what you want to do.
Right.
Maybe you're not going to be the next Mariah Carey, but just dropping the fear and putting it out into the universe that, yeah, you can. It could be a hobby, and maybe it can turn into something else. But if you're living in your bliss, or you're really living your passion, then that doesn't have to mean be completely irresponsible about dropping all of your responsibility.
Right.
But it's just really dropping the fear and taking that first step and just try it. And once you really put it out there, my friend Dee, she's amazing. She says the world will support you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have fears, and there's times where I'm terrified.
What are you terrified of?
Everything. But I say if it terrifies you, you're in the right path.
Yeah.
If it terrifies me, I'm like, oh man, I have to move forward to really break the fear and realize there was nothing to be afraid of.
What was your biggest learning lesson?
Oh my gosh, everything. Everything, just knowing that I'm capable, and just really breaking that fear. I mean, everything is a learning lesson for me, especially when I'm doing live television. I'm terrified when I'm doing something live.
Really?
Absolutely. But, if you don't get those butterflies in your belly, then it's not worth it. It's exhilarating when you're afraid and you're walking in your fear, but once you walk forward, it disappears. You're like, man, I conquered that.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It's really powerful. But if you're afraid, then you know what? Maybe that's your compass telling you that, yes, you're on the right track.
Right.
But, you should be strong enough to know that your fear is not going to stop you.
Yeah, you need to break your fears.
Yes, absolutely. And fear is completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is normal, and like I said, if I'm scared of it, then I do it.
Good.
But trust me, I'm terrified of everything.
What is the biggest challenge you feel like you've overcome?
My biggest challenge? Wow, that's a great question. I would really have to say knowing who I am in this space, in the entertainment industry.
Because it can delude you, right?
It could delude you, and, I'm not just one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could be confusing for people, and it could be confusing for me. It was confusing, because I'm like, how do I market myself, and how do I become relatable? But I do sports entertainment, I do Spanish, I do English. I just did choreography for a music video. Sometimes.
Did you really?
Yeah. I mean, because you know how I love dancing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Before I used to do, like I said, I did the dancing, and I started doing choreography. I mean, it was a whole development throughout where I got to today. But that was my biggest challenge, to really accept, I am all of these things. Maybe it could be jack of all trades, master of none, but I'm okay with that, and that's where my brand was born, Media-Gypsy.
There you go.
And I actually embrace it, and some people love it, some clients love it, and that's why they hire me. Some clients don't get it. That means, I don't belong with your brand, or I'm not the talent for your message.
Right.
But that was the biggest challenge for me. And right now I'm 33, and it took me. I started when I was 18 in the industry.
Right.
Now is when I feel I know who I am.
You're really finding your skin.
Exactly.
That's great.
I'm okay in my skin. I know what my message is all about.
So tell me about your company and your message. It's a great
oh my
lead-in.
gosh, the great lead-in. You're so good. Like, okay.
Well, thank you. I tried.
Well, I've always had this passion for helping people. Just because I just feel, although, we want to pursue our dreams and, our aspirations, I've always wanted help. Growing up in the industry, not a lot of people helped me. And
did you have a mentor role model?
I didn't. I mean, I had people I looked up to in the media, but nobody that I really had physical contact that I could really ask.
So you had to find your own way and figure
I
it
did
out.
have to find my own way. I mean, the closest thing I would have to say is my mother.
Okay. Yeah.
My mother, and I just followed her advice, and I love you, Mom. I love her so
much. That's what to say to the podcast.
And it's funny because I would ask women my age in the industry, very naive, not thinking that they wouldn't want to help me, just asking them advice, and they're very not about giving me information, whether it's about
do you think that's because I've seen that in the business world sometimes, that women who have reached a certain level sometimes get very, for lack of a better word, catty with women who work underneath them, and can kind of, I don't want to say sabotage, but not be as helpful as we would hope. Do you think that comes from a place of woman to woman, or is that just the industry, the way the industry is?
I think it's the industry, but I think it is a very territorial woman thing.
Right.
You're like, I'm going to hear me roar, but you're not going to take what I have.
Right.
But I think if you're really comfortable in your own skin and you know what your purpose is in life, you don't need to come from that energy. You don't need to be that. Exactly. And that is one thing that I've always prayed for. I don't ever want to become that person. I don't ever want to be so intimidated by other people that I really lose the essence of who I am. And that's where my company was born. I mean, honestly, it took me a while to really hone my message and to really figure out what can I offer. But my company is AO Media Consult, and what it's all about is helping people in the industry. Let's see, sometimes when you're in the industry, you're not booking work. I've been there. You're not booking work, and you don't know what it is. And I would come in to really look at everything, whether it's your message, your material, your reel, your headshots. I'll do a talent audit. And I would brainstorm with you. Let's try to get you out of this funk. I'm not about creating stars, because that's all about a lot of.
It comes with a lot of extra strings.
It's a lot of extra strings, But if you're doing what you want to do for the right reasons, then you will be okay. So that's one aspect of my clients. The second aspect of
you'd be open to working with anyone in the industry, whether you're a singer, dancer,
absolutely
actor.
Absolutely anything. And then I would work with people that are completely green in the industry, people that want to break into the industry but have no idea how to start. And it's such a scary world out there, because there's a whole bunch of people trying to sell you things and packages, and I'll make you a star. Give me $1,000 and I'll make you a star. And trust me, thank goodness I never really fell into those traps, but they were offered to me.
Of course.
And it could be a dangerous industry, so I would come in to kind of help you and guide you and kind of give you a map to follow. And then I also prep, whether it's CEOs or people that need to talk to the media, or give a presentation.
Okay. So you need help with their public,
the public
relations.
Public relations or whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of facets. And then the third facet would be personal life coaching.
Oh, okay.
Personal life coaching. I can help you take a dream, a goal, and really create something tangible for you to follow.
Awesome.
So you can, like you said, get out of the cubicle and really start following your bliss. And sometimes all you just need is a coach or a cheerleader.
So if I came to you and said, Andrea, stupid wine. My Lord. I've been sitting on this idea for a book for like 20 years, and I've just never had I just never thought I could do it. I never had the motivation to do it. I didn't know where to start. Is that the type of person you mean?
Absolutely. Those are my dream clients. I'm like, you know what? Let's start to create a map to how you can create your book and how you can actually be a published author. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just need an accountability buddy.
Yep.
Sometimes we just need somebody that has resources that can kind of lead you in the right direction.
Right.
It just takes that little nudge. And sometimes we're afraid to talk to our husbands, wives, best friends because they may think we're nuts.
Right, you're afraid of getting embarrassed or having your dream just shot down.
And
it's so personal.
It is very personal. And if people are just used to seeing you in one light, let's say you are working in the financial industry,
right.
But how about if
you want to be a juggler?
Exactly, you want to be a juggler. I can come in and help you become a juggler. But a lot of people are just used to seeing you in one light.
Right.
We're scared. We're scared to tell the people that are closest to us, like,
right.
I want to be an author.
Take a chance. And yeah, exactly. So, okay, I've known this for a while about you.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's good.
I'm going to let me take a just like that. I'm reaching for my wine, and what do you know?
Well, it's ever since, the first time I knew you were working with KBJ, and knowing a little bit about them and et cetera, we're not going to get into all that craziness over there, but I knew you must be a good person.
Oh, thank you.
And over the course of the last several months, through little things I've seen, it's been confirmed. And so my question for you, and listening to you talk about the leeches that can be involved in this industry, right? How frustrating is it for you, being in the industry, when you come across someone that you know is just shady and shisty, and is there a part of you that feels terrible for the people who they must be taking advantage of? Well,
of course. I mean, you definitely feel bad for the people that are impacted in a negative way from the people that have bad intentions.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's frustrating to see, and you see that all the time. You really see that all the time, but karma's a bitch.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I really believe in that. So, at the end of the day, you could just really pray for those people, and you can only hope that you can really see through people when they put on a different facade.
Right.
And just really believe your gut feeling.
Right.
Really huge believer in that. But yeah, I definitely feel bad that there's people out there that want to take advantage of people that are a little bit naive or just hope. I mean, I'm such a positive person. I mean, you have to be in this industry or else you go nuts. And don't get me wrong. It's like I've had people appear one way and then be another, but I think that's all about life lessons.
Right.
And you know better. And
that's
then
true.
Moving forward, hopefully you don't get you don't get tricked.
Right. Right. What's that? Fool me once, shame on me, shame on you.
Look, I get that same wrong all the time.
That one.
Shame on me.
And insert that phrase right here. That's what I meant to say. So you were born in Colombia. When did you move to the States?
I moved to the States when I was 6 months old, just a baby.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So, do you have brothers and sisters?
I don't. I'm the only child.
You're the only child.
I always say, people's like, oh, you are so spoiled. I'm like, I was spoiled with love.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. And so where do your parents live? Do they live in...
My parents, I grew up in the Miami area until I was 12, and then we moved to the Weston area, like from Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And I went to high school. I went to Western High.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went to Western High. Go Wildcats!
Oh my gosh. We probably know a couple of the same people.
I'm sure. It's such a small world. It's such a small community.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up there, and pretty much from like 12 to 23.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So that was the area that I grew up in. And right now, my parents live in New York. They moved like a year ago, and I miss them here.
Oh, what did they move for?
My mother got a promotion in her job, and it was an opportunity that she couldn't pass up, and I was so happy for her, but they're my best friends. So it's definitely, I miss them.
I'm sure you do. How often do you get to see them?
I mean, it's tough with work, They want me to go up for Thanksgiving, but I have an FAU game, and then around that time...
Right, I mean, football.
It's tough. Football season,
like
hockey season.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to hopefully see them the beginning of December, but it's very random when I can go see them, because I want to see them for a week. It's not like a couple days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you one question packaged in another question.
Okay, hit me up.
So, all right. So my first question is, do you really authentically love sports? And my second question is, how annoying is it that I'm even asking that question?
No, I think it's an awesome question. I think it's an awesome awesome question. Authentically, yes, I do love sports. I think you have to love sports to work in the field.
Right.
Because sometimes, I mean, you can fake something to a certain degree, but people are going to know. People are going to know, whether it's the fans, especially the fans.
Right.
The fans know if you're going to fake something.
They can smell it.
They can smell it from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yes, I definitely love sports. I have been involved in sports one way or another. I mean, especially with the Dolphins. You know,
Right.
I cheered on the sidelines for 3 years, and at the beginning, I really wasn't into football. But when you're around that energy,
yeah, the
I
excitement
was
gets in
19. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, not a lot of people get to be on the sidelines with this energy. I was like, what is this sport about? And little by little, you need to know about, or else, you know, you're going to be cheering when they fumble, and you're like,
oh, just kidding.
You don't want to be that girl. But yeah, little by little, I started getting more involved in the sport and really learning about it. But I definitely love hockey more than anything now, just because now it's my 3rd season with the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I just learned to love it. When you really are part of a team and you see how fast hockey is, and you really get to know the players.
I was gonna ask you if you get to know the guys.
I mean, I interview the players before each game, and honestly, my favorite athlete out there is the hockey players. They're amazing, just because they're really humble. And I was having that conversation yesterday with the publisher from a hockey magazine. But
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I was interviewed by 80 Degrees Hockey Magazine, and
we're following each other now.
You know, we know what's up. Honestly, it's just really awesome when you get to know a hockey player, because they could be a little bit intimidating because they're so tall, you know, and they're getting beat up on the ice.
Right.
But when you really talk to them, they're the most down-to-earth people, and that's what I really love. And when people break that barrier, it's really interesting when you can really connect with a hockey player.
So your career has been very much South Florida based.
Yes.
I mean, you grew up down here, and you cheered for the Dolphins. You're the arena host and reporter for the Panthers. Did you set out to kind of arrange your career around South Florida, or is that just kind of what's happened?
I mean, I love the weather down here in South Florida. My family's always said, come to New York. I mean, I actually have my agent in New York.
Okay.
And I fly up there for auditions, but my goal has been to take over South Florida. And it just has happened to be that I've gotten opportunities in South Florida. Awesome. And remember, we're in a bilingual market.
Right.
So I've been able to use the fact that I speak Spanish
to
book work and things like that. And I go to LA sometime for some projects. But the goal is to conquer the world.
There you go, girl.
But honestly, I love South Florida.
Oh, that's awesome.
I really love South Florida. But really, now moving forward, I always love to take everything to the next level.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get more work in LA and New York right now.
Do you think there's a part of you that will never be satisfied? Like, you'll always want to reach that next level, no matter how hard, what you achieved, it's like, oh, that was awesome. Okay, what can I do next? Or do you feel like you'll finally mellow out, maybe just kind of let it coast?
You know what? If you know me, you know I will never be mellow.
Yeah.
I think that's human nature. I think we'll never be satisfied. You know, we always want to take everything to the next level. But when I see my career morphing into, always being a part of, you know, whether it's the entertainment industry or the sporting industry, I have a couple of really cool projects finally that are getting traction with acting. I mean, I've always done the acting thing, but now some of my projects have been getting distribution, and that's really great.
Oh, cool.
So you'll be able to see my acting chops, which
it'll
be fun, you know. But
what's the favorite project you've done so far?
Oof. I love in terms of acting, I love anything comedic.
Okay.
You know, I think
really.
Yeah, I think anytime you're challenged in, you know, with your comedic timing and really working with somebody opposite of you, and you're able to just be goofy and not worry about your image and just.
Are you self-deprecating?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all are somehow, some way.
It's good to be.
Yeah, you know, the film that just got distribution is Chrissy Bell. I play a Cuban Latina bitch.
Nice.
Yeah, but it really has a funny comedic twist, and I was able to play a dancer.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was able to
use a lot of facets.
Yeah, little facets of my experience. That was so much fun because it was a comedic role. And
where did that film?
That was down here in South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, that was down here in South Florida. We just got word that it got worldwide distribution, so that's going to be
That is exciting.
exciting. Yeah, I haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Oh,
you're
great.
You're so sweet. But honestly, it's hard to really choose what my favorite thing is, just because I love the unpredictability of the aspect of all of my projects.
Right.
You know, and just as long as I'm being challenged and being surrounded by really great people, that's what I really love about it.
What do you think is the biggest misconception as far as, because we were talking very early on about how glamorous everybody thinks everything is, like, you know, when you're on set doing, whether it's on, like either in the arena hosting or you're on set filming something, like, what is the thing that in your back of your head you're just laughing, like, if people only knew? Like,
you know, it's so funny because a lot of people think I just have it all together, or I always look put together. But remember, I need to look put together because that's my job.
Right.
I get paid to have my hair look a certain way. I'm a hot mess trying to sort of maneuver life. It's so funny. I mean, I try to do it with grace, you know, and try not to look flustered when I'm out there. But I think that's the biggest misconception. People always think that I have it together and that things are perfect, and, you know, trust me, these are fake lashes. Sometimes I have a wig in my hair, and there's no sleep, and, you know, sometimes I just feel gross because I've gained weight. I mean, people just have that misconception that I have it all together, and that is really far from the truth.
I'm sure, like, the actual doing of the project, whether it's the actual interview that you're doing or the commercial you're filming or whatever it is, I'm sure that's super fun. How much work goes into creating those moments of super fun?
All day, hours, weeks.
Like what?
I mean, when you're trying to look a certain way, let's say, you know, you put a lot of time into the way you look. So you have your hair person, you have your makeup person. It could be hours.
Yeah.
You know, for a commercial, for you to look a certain way. Thank goodness I'm able to do my hair and makeup for every project that I do. I mean, if they have a stylist and they have you know, a makeup artist, that's awesome.
Right.
You know, but really, it really is all smoke and mirrors. I mean, and I just finished doing a commercial. Just to get one shot, you're there for like 3 hours.
Wow.
One shot that could last a couple minutes.
Right.
It's all about the lighting. It's all about the filters.
Right.
It's all about making sure your hair is perfect.
I mean, right.
Really, it takes a long time to get that one shot.
I just did a scene for Clowns Have Murderous Ways, Jason's movie.
Oh my
Let me tell you, it required none of that.
You didn't have
it required none of that.
Budget?
No makeup artist. Craft services was a thing of Pringles.
You know what?
It was hilarious. It was awesome.
You're lucky.
Best day ever.
Okay, because some projects don't even have a box of Pringles. I've been on projects like that.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
But like, as far as the booking of everything, like, so I know you said you have an agent in New York. Well, first of all, how did you find your agent?
Well, let's see. I always recommend people to get agents. Because these are the agents that will help you get work. Right. But honestly, I'm a hustler. I just don't count on agents to get my work. I mean,
Gotcha.
Thank goodness that people know my work enough that sometimes a producer or a director will just contact me, which those are my most favorite moments.
Right.
But, you know, I think I have an agent down here and I have an agent in New York. They're very important, obviously, because sometimes I won't even know what type of projects are out there unless I'm contacted. Because they're very in the industry. So I recommend if you want to be in the industry, you start with an agent for sure. But always hone your relationships and just always try to...
Networking's really important.
Networking is where it's at, to tell you the truth. Because without the type of networking that I do, I wouldn't have gotten half the work that I get, especially on social media.
Yeah.
I network a lot on social media.
Yeah.
And those people become my real life friends.
Right.
And I got an amazing work through social media.
That's awesome. Do you feel like what was like the one thing that opened? Was it the Dolphins that opened that door for you and helped you start that network? And helped you start? Are you sure you're not hot?
No, I'm good. I just start sweating when I drink.
Well, I'm sweating a little bit too, so let's turn the AC down, whatever. So
yeah, I would have to say honestly, the Dolphins really gave me that platform.
Right.
To get into modeling, to get into broadcasting, to get into it all. But at the same time, you have to be savvy to know what opportunities you have. at your fingertips in order to take it to the next level. Because if I was just content dancing and left it where it was, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to break into broadcasting or modeling or say yes to the choreography opportunities that they gave me. I just knew I had this really great platform, and I was going to be annoying to the producers, and I was going to be jumping up and down until they gave me an opportunity.
Awesome. So are you fascinated by the people you work with, the people who have been in the industry? Do you, like, whenever you meet someone who is accomplished, do you try to pick their brain, or do you...
Yes, I want to know everything and anything about somebody that's very accomplished. But I also like to give them space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I know how somebody that's very accomplished. I love to chat with people, and I wanna give them all my information just because I know how exciting it is. But I try to give them their space, and I try to give them an opportunity to can I pick your brain over coffee or whatnot. But the people that are really accomplished are very accessible sometimes.
Right.
So that's the challenge.
Who's been the one celebrity or big person in the industry who, when you met them, you just were like, you just geeked out? You're like, I can't believe either I met or I'm working with or whatever this person.
Who did I geek out with?
Or if you could meet anyone that you could work with, who would it be?
Thank goodness I haven't geeked out on anybody, because I'm a little bit of a nerd in general. And I never want to lose my cool, but honestly, I'm a big fan of Kelly Ripa.
Yeah, I love her.
I'm a big fan of Barbara Walters.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Just strong women that have created an amazing platform for themselves. I love Kelly Ripa just because obviously she does the hosting. She has this amazing family.
I've been watching her since All My Children days.
Exactly.
Like day one of her being on All My Children. I remember the scene. She came in with this tattered black, total, not gothy exactly, just hot mess looking dress, and she just was a badass. You could tell, like, oh, she's gonna stir it up. And I loved her from, like, immediately. I was like, oh yeah, that's my girl.
That's exactly how I felt about her. And the fact that she's tiny, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm tiny too. I really love Juliana Rancic and Kat Sadler, from E! Entertainment. And Maria Menounos. They do the work that I aspire to do.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That's great. Now, going back to Kelly Ripa, just a little side note about me. I don't really watch her morning show because
I'm working.
Yeah, I'm listening to Baby J. So, but I remember I was watching 2020 one day, and I've had an ear affliction my whole life that I never knew what it was. And I was watching 2020 one day, and I wasn't really paying attention. My brother was watching. He's like, you gotta come see this, you gotta come see this. And we rewound it, and we watched it, and it was all about this affliction called misophonia.
What is that?
And it's literally translated into hatred of sound.
What?
Yeah, and the people who have it, it's like specific sounds you hear just cause your blood to boil, and it's excruciating.
Really? You have that?
I do, and I was like, oh my god, there's a name for it. For me, it's certain snifflings, but not everybody. It's just it's extremely specific with it. It's crazy. But what's funny is she was on there talking about that she has it too.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's funny you say that she's your role model for everything you're doing. She's my role model just because we both have the same issue. So isn't that funny? It's so random.
Is there any type of treatment for it?
No, it's really newly kind of being recognized as a thing. And
what type of reaction do you get?
I get angry. And so I wear my headphones all the time. Like,
really?
Yeah, because for the most part I can predict, like I know who sets it off, and so I know already, but there's sometimes that random person you're walking by in, Publix or whatever, and it's just, it catches you off guard.
Oh my
God.
Yeah,
so for Kelly Ripa, it's chewing. So she's like, I love to give my kids healthy fruit and stuff, but I hand them a peach and I tell them go eat it in the next room because she can't deal with it.
That is so interesting.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's so funny. It's that you mentioned her, because I'm like, I know, I love her too, for a totally different reason.
Well, I never knew there was an ailment.
It sounds made up because it's called misophonia, which just sounds like it's...
I totally believe you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh! So what do you have? What are your like big goals? You're talking about Maria Menounos
Yeah.
and Juliana Rancic, and do you want some national platform? Like, what are your big goals? What you want to do?
That's definitely the goal, to definitely get that national platform. I mean, I've auditioned for really big projects, national projects.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten that opportunity. I mean, you go to all of these auditions, and it's the probability of you booking something huge is it's really slim, but that doesn't mean it's impossible.
Right.
Like I said,
somebody does.
If somebody does, might as well be me.
Right. Exactly.
But honestly, I love the industry. I'm definitely going to be doing this until like I'm 100 somehow, some way. I mean, that definitely is the goal. I'm going to keep at it until I definitely book something or create my own project.
Right.
So I'm not going to stop.
What's the audition process like? Do you like it?
Oh,
okay.
Honestly,
take that as a no.
If you're ever going to interview me for a job or audition me, I'm the worst.
Really?
People, I don't know. Ugh, I'm so bad at auditioning and interviewing. Horrible.
What's the problem? You think is it you nerves
of course.
or just?
I'm on to a point where I can take my nerves and control them, but it's just a whole bunch of things. You go into an audition, and then in the waiting room, you see everybody that looks like you. Everybody looks like you, but everybody's skinnier.
Because they want a certain height, certain hair color, certain
they're looking for a type,
whatever. Yeah.
So let's just say they're like, we want somebody with black hair, and that's between 5 foot and 5'5". So then you have all these like drop dead model chicks out there, and it's just miserable. You go out there, it's like, especially down here in South Florida, you drive to South Beach, it takes you 100 years to get there, it takes you another 2 hours to find parking, you want to get there on time, you want to have your lines memorized, you get there, not only are you sweating, not only are your extensions falling off because you just parked super far, do you know what I mean?
And it was raining.
It's all, that's the thing, this is the truth behind what it takes to get a part. Oh, so finally, you get there, your extensions are off, you're making sure like your glue from your fake lash is not showing, and then you finally get your stuff together, and now you have to wait another hour with everybody who looks like you. But, the good thing is I have been able to overcome the whole looking at everybody like, oh my gosh, I really get discouraged.
Okay. Is that what happens sometimes when you first walk into a room? It's like immediate just deflation?
Absolutely. You get deflated because not only is everybody gorgeous, but, they're 5'8", and you're like, are you serious? That's like, I'm like, are you serious? Especially with my heels, I'm still tiny. But then all of a sudden, you're like, they're not nice to you. Obviously, now you're with people that's competition. So it can definitely be a little brutal. But to tell you the truth, now
is it isolating?
Yeah, of course it's isolating. But you know what? My goal every time, it's so funny because obviously my goal is to get the part.
Right.
Honestly, I just kill everybody with kindness, and I made my best friend actually from an audition.
Really?
Yeah, my friend Kelly. It's like she's Colombian, she's little. She does the traffic for NBC6.
Okay.
Definitely have seen her. She's super cute, and this was a long time ago. This was like almost 10 years ago. I just sparked up a conversation, and I thought she was super sweet and adorable. Aww. So instead of leaving enemies, we left best friends.
That's great.
Yeah, but honestly, the audition process sucks. I suck. It's just, overall, it's just awkward for me. It's like, I just always hope that I do a good job.
Right.
And I hope that, my portfolio, my website, my resume, and my track record speaks the volumes.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm a lousy interviewer. If somebody interviews me for a job, oof. Yeah. I'm the most awkward, weird person ever. Yeah, it's so funny.
Just look at this reel. Just look at the reel, guys.
Yeah, it's so funny. But honestly, I don't let it deflate me the way it used to.
Yeah.
Because I know how it is now. But I know how it can be for somebody. Oof, it's brutal.
Really?
And this is just in South Florida. I can't imagine how it is like in New York. I've been to a couple auditions in New York. I can't imagine
how different is it?
Well, now you're maneuvering subways, so now you're just making sure like your weave doesn't get stuck on the subway. Right. It's just, it definitely does, definitely messes with your mind. But I think if you're focused and you stay strong in your resolve and know why you're there, and don't let those outside factors really get to you, you'll be golden. But you're dealing with all of these outside factors that can really do a job on you. But for example, in my company, I come in and I'm your cheerleader.
There you
go. Do it. It's okay. I've been there.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's important to have someone by your side who gets it.
Yeah,
Who's
and
been through that fire.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And you've been doing it for 15 years about now.
Yeah. Wow.
And have you seen any changes in the entertainment scene in Florida between when you started and now?
I definitely have, and it's not just in Florida. I will contribute. Well, a couple things are happening. Unfortunately, this is my perspective, the jobs that I would usually get paid a very fair rate for, now they're like, oh, we'll just give you $100.
Why?
I don't know. Because online.
Yeah.
Now there's agencies or people that are willing to do your work for a lot less, but they don't have the experience that you have, or you know what I mean, just stuff like that. Everybody wants to save a buck.
Right.
But for me, I know what I'm going to work for, and a lot of times I don't go to castings because I know the rate for a job is $150 to be on set for 12 hours.
Right.
I'm like, that is unacceptable.
How important is it to honor your value as you're struggling and reaching for those stars and wanting to take all those opportunities? How important is it to balance that with really honoring your value?
You know what? That is so golden what you're asking, because it not only happens within the entertainment industry, but it happens when you're an entrepreneur. Now that I'm putting myself out there and really, I have my rates, you really need to honor your value.
Right.
You need to know when you're going to do something for free and what you're really going to get out of it.
Right.
But you need to know that you're not always going to work for free. It's like, I've been in the industry for 15 years.
Right.
I'm not going to work for free anymore, but I do favors for my friends.
Right.
So there's a balance with it all. You know, if it's a Saturday and my director friends, which I did a favor for him, I did a commercial for him for it was a favor.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because this amazing director has given me so much work, and I wanted to pay it forward.
There you
know,
go.
so there's always a trade-off. You know, if you're starting in the industry, I'm sorry, honey, but you're probably going to have to work for free.
Right.
And that's how I started.
But it comes with benefits because you're building that network and you're building your portfolio and you're gaining exposure.
You're absolutely right. But definitely honor your value. You get to a point where you're like, okay, I've done enough work for free. Remember, we have to eat. You know, there's gas.
Pay that rent.
We have to pay the rent, and we have to buy
the light bill.
Exactly.
Can't work in the dark.
Yeah, and sometimes
curling irons don't work without electricity.
My weave is not free. Thank you.
These eyelashes
are not free. So it's tough, but you need to know what the trade-off is.
Right.
If you're going to do something for a discounted rate, is it because you want to continue to build a relationship with that director? Are you going to be able to forge that relationship to get more work in the future?
Right.
It's always a trade-off. You definitely need to be very smart about it. And now, for example, somebody like me, if I really give my rate and it's not in alignment with really what I do, if I'm like, here, just pay me $100 for a whole day on set, it's a disservice to my fellow hosts as well.
Yeah, that's true, because then you're affecting kind of the market rate of things.
You do affect the market rate, and people don't think that.
Right.
You know, it's like you want to be able to just look at yourself and know that you're worth it.
I never thought about that before.
You are affecting everybody, you know, because if a fellow host, gives away their work for like $100, they don't charge your industry standard, then the next time, you're setting the expectations for the industry, and you're doing a disservice to yourself as well, to your coworkers and your friends and family. Honestly, it's a trickle-down effect.
That's true.
It's really crazy. But the shift in the industry is social media and the fact that you can create your own content and start getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So honestly, now I'm banking on myself to create my own content, because now technology is so available.
How much time do you have to put into just building all that content, whether it's keeping up on Twitter and Instagram and those type of things, to maintaining, your physical portfolio, to maintaining your website, to, all of that stuff that goes into just being able to have a package to put in front of someone?
Honestly, it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
It's very time consuming. It could take somebody a year to put really valuable work in front of potential clients. You just don't want to put something together and have it look scraggly. You're like,
here's my initial impression.
Exactly. Everything takes so much time. It really does to build your presence on social media. to really be authentic. I honestly try to get to every message that I get.
There you go.
I really try. Not the weirdos.
Which I'm sure you come across plenty.
I skip over the weirdos, you know, but people that reach out on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, I really try to respond to it. Sometimes it takes time, but to really build that authentic relationship with people on social media, which I personally think will set you apart from the rest.
It's
and
true.
Building your brand is so important. It's very time consuming. But if this is really what you want to do for a living, whether you're a talent or in production or somebody like you, you know, it's like you're doing your podcast, you know, you're launching your amazing company.
Thank you.
You know, it's like you're working so hard and it takes a lot of time.
It does.
And you know what? If you want to stand out from the rest, you need to build a quality product.
Right.
You know, and personally for me, I rather have something take me a lot longer than opposed to putting something that looks like crap out there.
Right.
Like a shaky camera phone, you're like, hey, all you see is an eyeball.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you really need to figure out the type of image you want to put out there, and sometimes it takes a lot because you need to learn how to be your own cameraman, you need to learn how to be your own editor.
Right.
So it definitely takes
true.
time, but I think quality is super important.
So you mentioned being your own cameraman, being your own editor. Are there a lot of, have there been a lot of skills that you didn't have any clue you're going to be building or needing, and then you found, oh, okay, I'm into that now.
Yeah, it's so funny because the industry, like I said, you can be everything, you know, and sometimes I'm my own editor. I'm a crappy editor, you know. Thank goodness I have, you know, really great friends that are amazing editors, but if I can edit my own stand-up, if I can, you know...
What's a stand-up?
A stand-up when I do an introduction for an actual product. I thought money was a joke.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if I can edit my own video, that's amazing because I just save myself time to go to somebody else to do it for me.
Of course.
And if you're a host or a reporter, a lot of your work is time-sensitive.
That's true.
And
it's all about the now.
It's all about the now. Remember, everybody wants everything now. So if I can take my little studio and create my own product without having anybody to help me, then absolutely. But it's now you need to figure out your balance. You know, I know I'm not a great editor, but if I want a great product, maybe I won't edit it myself. I'm going to have to get somebody else to edit it.
Okay.
So it's really finding out what you're good at and really try to learn as many skills. And if somebody can't do it for you, you know, it's all about you trying to do it yourself.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot more flexible for people out there to create their own content and projects, and that's what's so exciting about today's industry. And that's the shift that I see, and it's very powerful for everybody to get on it
because it puts a lot more power and effect in your own hand, right?
Absolutely. Now I don't need to really count on an agent. I love my agents, don't get me wrong, but for example, right now I'm working on my own travel show. I didn't have to go to an agency. I didn't have to, you know, I'm using my resources. I'm using my talent to move it forward. And after this, I'm going to go do my couple of videos for my new blog that I'm launching. Right. But I'm doing it all myself. Which is called? Media-Gypsy.com. Okay. Yeah. Media-Gypsy, which I'm super excited. I'm going to be launching a really cool campaign, Sticks and Stones. I was going to ask you about that. What's that? I'm so stoked because although I'm so random and you hear me chat about all these weird different things, this is something that I feel that there's a reason why I've done all the craziness and why I've gotten to this point. Okay. So I'm relaunching my blog, Media-Gypsy, and I was thinking, what is something that I can do that can really impact people positively and can, you know, bring some empowerment to women. And it's so funny because the one thing that really inspired this was my time with the KVJ show. Really? Yeah, because although it was an amazing opportunity with the KVJ show and I love them dearly, but remember, we had a lot of negativity surrounding my joining of the show. Just a little bit. You know, like total fire. You know, but you know. Oh, talk about sticks and stones! Hey! I get it! But to tell you the truth, although when you're in the industry, you're going to get so much judgment, good and bad. Yes. And don't get me wrong, with the KVJ show, I got so much love from people. Yeah. Honestly, but unfortunately, we're human. Why do we only listen to the negativity? It's true. It's true. You can see 100 positive posts about how beautiful, how awesome, how
incredible,
But
how
it
funny,
does take that too.
Then there's
to
that one
stir
person,
your
right?
mentality
Right,
up.
it's true. It's true.
So, and that's really what happened with the KVJ show.
Yeah.
You know, I had more amazing people behind me being my cheerleaders, you know, but I had like
you had quite a few people who were just
a few
jerks,
that were
though.
just like really.
And I do apologize as kind of the person in charge. Is this a label that I didn't
You're
put on myself?
so
But
funny.
the person kind of quote unquote in charge of KVJ Nation, whatever that means. I mean, I saw it and I was like, I don't even know how to handle.
You know what? It's
what
so
is
funny.
going on right now?
That's just
because I was trying to be so positive and keep. You know, when people were talking, either whether it was about KVJ and you know the lack of information, I'm like, but they can't talk.
Yeah, they can't talk. So fortunately and unfortunately, because on a personal level, that did affect me a lot, just because it was a different type of judgment that I was getting that I was really not used to. Trust me, people would talk smack about me one way or another in the type of projects that I was in.
Right.
But, you know, the KVJ show was such a beloved show, so, and it was a very intimate type of show.
Right.
So I wasn't being targeted as a group. I was being targeted as one person.
Right.
So, obviously, I had my emotional situation with that where I had to just really carry on with grace and just know that that's the industry, and honestly just pray for people that are negative.
Yeah.
But sticks and stones coming back to that was, okay, you know what? This is amazing because I'm going to launch my campaign. And I reached out to 5 amazing women in the industry from every type of industries, from fitness to a published author to
Who are they?
Okay, so awesome. So excited. So they're going to be sharing their stories with us in terms of how they maneuver the negativity. So we have Stella Vidal. She's a published author. She's an amazing businesswoman, and she's been a television host. So she's going to be sharing her story with us. And we have Jill Tracy from 105 FM.
Yeah, I saw her on Twitter.
Yes, Jill Tracy. She's going to be sharing her story with us as well, and how she maneuvers negativity within the industry and her background. We have Lena Pereira. She is an international fitness guru. I've known her for the longest time.
Wow.
And I've been wanting to collaborate with her somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And finally, she has agreed to be a part of this awesome Media Blitz campaign. And I'm also going to be working with Vanessa James. She is a media guru. She does voiceovers. She does television. She does music conferences. Like, she is so powerful. Like, these women are on top of their game, and I've always been so inspired by these women. So I reached out to them and I told them, listen, I'm going to be launching my Sticks and Stones campaign to relaunch Media-Gypsy.
Yeah.
And based on my experience, I want to know how you guys been real.
Yeah.
And how do you really overcome the negativity that's out there?
It can be so hard.
It really can be hard, you know, but they are amazing, powerful women. So they have agreed to contribute to the blog, to share their story as a blog. And then after, we will be doing a Google Hangout with special guests to continue the dialogue.
Oh, cool.
And we'll be doing a Twitter party, and based on that, we're going to be doing a video. So this is like a whole
cool.
multimedia experience.
Right.
And I have one more, Jessica Vaco, which she's a contributor for US Weekly, and she lives in Chicago.
Oh, awesome.
So it's not just South Florida. Like, the whole goal is to continue this amazing campaign, honestly, to empower and just be real and just show people out there that, you know, these people are in the spotlight, but at the end of the day, they're just like you. They have insecurities and they go through the negativity. But these are the tools that have allowed them to really succeed.
Right, absolutely.
So it's going to be hopefully I'm going to be kicking it off in mid-November.
It's funny that I caught one specific thing that you said that was that these people are just like you. And I think I was actually just having a conversation with this with the DJ that I represent on Hit Up. And I remember how we got into the conversation, but he was talking about someone he met or saw and had idolized, and how he realized that they are just like you and me. And so we had that little conversation. Do you feel like, because I know for years the way the entertainment industry was, you know, no one was really accessible, actors and actresses and producers. It was just they lived in their world and we lived in ours, and we were just idolizing them. And now with the advent of Twitter and social media and everything kind of brought closer.
The industry has changed.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's important now to really relay the message of we're real people and this is...
I mean, the industry has changed to the point where, for example, if you're a TV host, it's recommended that you just don't put this perfect facade. Like, oh, look at me, I woke up like this. Type of thing, you know what I mean? Like, people want to see when you're getting ready, when your hair is in rollers, you know. And I try to give that in my social media, like when I'm, just my funny moments. And that is when your experience, whether if you're a TV host or an author, that's when your experience in the industry really becomes real. And you really break that wall. And I think that's really what matters. And I think that's when you can really connect with people. And that's where the industry is taking that focus. It's shifting because people want to be on the same level with you. And thank goodness, because when you're in the industry, you're not better, you're not different, you're just
this is what you're doing.
Exactly. But I have problems just like you. You know what I mean? We may have the same problems. And for me, I've enjoyed that aspect. Just really getting real and just being like, y'all, and I just love being
like, y'all.
I'm like, y'all, this hair is not real. Thank goodness, this is my real hair today. But there's times where I wear weave. And it's funny. I have funny stories about my weave, but that's for a different podcast. But you know what I mean? It's like, I love just
you can share whatever you want.
Oh my gosh. I went skydiving with a weave. Ugh. Yeah, I told you. Yes, that's going to be actually a part of a blog post that I'm going to be posting. But it's just the bloopers and what not to do.
Oh, my Lord.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But
noted.
But I love just really getting, on ground level with somebody and just showing that it's all smoke and mirrors. That's why you can't believe the hype.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not real. The whole fame or the whole, that industry. I love it, but you really need to know what's real and what's not.
Right.
And to be able to break that wall, I love that we have been able to do that.
Good. So you were, talking about the real you.
Oh, gosh. Okay, let me get more.
A little more wine. You're
my
fine.
gosh, I'm almost done.
I promise. Safe place. You want some more?
No, thank you.
So you mentioned earlier that you can nerd out about a lot. What do you nerd out about?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I am a gal that just loves to be in her sweats and just watch scary movies all day. Scary movies, that's what I love. Scary movies, scary movies and chocolate. I love to have my muffin top hang out and just not worry about that other stuff. But, I love nerding out about scary movies, Walking Dead, I'm a huge fan. Game of Thrones.
Zombie fan, nice.
I'm a huge zombie fan.
Zombies are my favorite.
Okay, good. You and I are
whether it's movies, video games, you name it, if there's a zombie involved, I am so there.
Trust me. With my husband, the first day that we went on, actually, I took him to go see My Bloody Valentine. And I was like...
I saw that in 3D at the drive-in! I was like shocked how good it was. I expected it to be a completely crappy movie, which I would love it anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, this actually has a good plot. I thought it was good.
You and I will be best friends.
Oh my gosh!
If you can hang with scary movies and guts and gore, you are my best friend.
I love that stuff. I can watch the Sci-Fi Channel because it has the worst...
B movies, but I love
they're
them.
off. I could literally just sit and watch a marathon all weekend. I love
that is my
stuff.
happy place.
The more B actors in it, the
best.
better.
Honestly, my bucket list, I want to be in a B movie with like a Sharknado.
Yes! You don't understand. Before the whole KBJ thing, Sharknado was the background of my Twitter handle. Like, I love that movie.
I don't know. There's just something about B movies that I love, and it will be.
They're awesome.
It'll be a proud day today that I can be a part of.
I hear you. So one of the people I look up to, in doing what I'm doing is Chris Hardwick.
It's funny. I will have to tell you, I loved him in Talk Soup when he did it back in the day. I hated his stand-up because I saw him in real life.
I've never seen his stand-up, to be honest with you. Didn't click.
He didn't click with me. But I saw him do a couple of awkward projects that was not resonating with me. But with Walking Dead, he found his thing. He found his niche.
Yeah, he did.
Like, all right, talking,
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And, because whenever the new season's approaching and they do, like, that marathon...
Yeah.
That they have those little snippets in between the commercials and stuff where he's on set talking to the actors and actresses and the producers and the writers and everything for like a couple minutes. And on one of those, which I was jealous of that already. I'm like, oh, I want to be on set, drool dripping from my mouth. But then on one of those times, he actually got made up as a zombie. And I was like, I hate you.
That would be so cool.
Like,
Wouldn't it be cool to be a zombie on one of those?
So awesome.
Yeah.
But he hosts a podcast called Nerdist. You
Does?
have to check it out.
Okay.
It's so up your alley.
Really?
It's not even
Okay.
funny.
I will
Because
definitely check it out.
he interviews a lot of people in the industry because he's been in it so long, and so he interviews a lot of people in the industry who give really great insights on things.
Mhm.
But then he also interviews people who like to nerd out and geek out about stuff. So it's really so up your alley. I highly recommend
good.
it.
I definitely will
So
check it out.
yeah, so he's like, in fact, there's a lot that led up to me starting this podcast, but what really made it, the moment it clicked for me, I was literally sitting in my cubicle at work and not really wanting to be there. I really wanted to be doing other things, for what I really want to do. And I was trying to formulate an idea of how to get this message out to people of how to pursue their dreams. And I'm listening to the Nerdist podcast, and it just clicked.
Isn't
And
it
I'm like,
awesome when it just clicks?
do a podcast, Jenny. Do a podcast. So yeah, I look up to him. So, I brought up the fact that he was got made up into zombie, and I was just like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
so I love that you love those
That's my
movies.
sweet spot, man. I just love that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so Walking Dead, anything scary, I love. I definitely got into Game of Thrones. I'm
Nice.
obsessed.
I don't have Showtime or HBO or any of those ones, so I'm missing out on a couple of really.
I don't
good
either.
things.
I don't
Okay.
either. I just binge watch when they're finding, my friends give me their
Oh,
password and
nice.
stuff like that, like online and
I
stuff like
need
that.
to find a friend who.
Trust me, you have a friend that has a friend that
I'm sure I do.
Yes, I got into Breaking Bad, and now I'm watching Fringe, a J.J. Abrams show.
Is that the one? It's been on it for a few years.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah, it's all super weird.
Is Joshua Jackson in that?
Yeah, Pacey. Oh,
I met him
really?
in Paris. And
How
hung out all
was he?
night.
How was he?
He was super cool. My
Oh.
friends and I was on a trip for school. We were
I
studying
kind of have
abroad.
a Pacey crush.
Yeah, we were studying abroad. And I couldn't stay out all night because I was super sick, but that's a whole nother story. Do not ever have surgery in Paris. That's all I'm going to say. But,
Oh, God.
terrible. But no, so we met him just randomly. I don't even remember if we met him at a bar or a restaurant, or maybe he was like walking. Oh, he was walking down the street and we were walking out of a restaurant. And we just, started talking, and we just all hung out the whole night. And this was before, digital cameras and stuff. I have no idea where those pictures are.
So how is he? Tell me.
He was
about
cool.
him.
He was
Yeah?
normal. He
Normal?
was, there was that little twinge of
Oh,
I am a
gosh.
star, but
Yeah.
he was super cool.
Yeah, I kind of have a crush on him now that I'm
Yeah.
watching. I was definitely a fan of the Mighty Ducks when he was looking.
Yeah. Did you see, what was that movie? It was a horror movie. It starred the Noxema girl.
Oh, with the curly hair.
Yeah,
I know.
Urban Legend.
Of course, I saw that.
Yeah. Duh, we talked
Duh,
about it,
hello.
obviously.
Yeah. So right now I've been watching Fringe non-stop.
Oh, very
I definitely
cool.
recommend it if you love all that stuff.
That's not still being made, is it? I mean, that's
It's not.
way
No.
old,
That's
right?
way old.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm all
Okay.
like Netflix. I'm
Yeah,
all about
yeah.
Netflix and just binge watching a show.
Nice.
I get obsessive.
Nice. Actually, that's how I started Walking Dead, because I was like, I don't know if it was leading into the second season or the third, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, because for some reason in my head, I just had assumed it was on HBO or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, I was just randomly flipping through the channels, and I seriously, by grace of God, happened to catch the very first seconds of season 1, episode 1, and it was the start of a marathon. I just record. It was the best thing ever.
So good. So good.
So good. Are you watching this season yet?
Of course I am.
Oh my gosh.
I just hate that there's so many commercials. There's literally only 30-something minutes of actual show, and the rest are commercials.
I know.
I'm like, you have to be kidding me.
I know. And so I've cried 3 times during this show.
Already?
No, not the season.
Oh, I was
but
about to say.
the first season.
I cried.
I think it's the 3rd episode when Rick and Carl reunite and they run to each other. I lost it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm spoiler alert. Okay, never mind. Anyways, the season 2 when a certain person dies in a very horrible way, which is okay. So I just mouthed it, so no one on the podcast knows. And then in this season,
This season's good.
when another very critical character makes an awesome return, and I lost it too. I lost it.
It's so awesome.
Such a good show.
Yeah, so if you haven't gotten on the Walking Dead train, you have no idea.
It's such a good show.
It's amazing.
Oh my god. Did you like so you like B horror movies and you like zombies? Do you like B zombie movies like
yeah, anything zombie related? I'm there. I don't care how.
Evil Dead?
Oh,
girl after my own heart.
Oh my god, absolutely. Anything zombie related, Evil Dead, it's just classic. You definitely have to be a part of. And it's so funny because when I'm not really into chick flicks, I'm just into scary movies.
Too.
I don't care that I don't have sophisticated taste for movies. It's so funny because
in my world, that is sophisticated.
I don't care if I'm not about foreign films that I have to read your captions on the bottom. I'm fine with it. I love my horror movie genre. That's after my heart. If you can't hang like that, yeah, that was definitely a requirement for my husband. I'm like, if you couldn't watch scary movies, we were not meant to be.
Right. So, one more thing I wanted to ask you, and I don't remember what it was. I like to end my podcast with like a random question. So let me just see what it was. I don't remember.
I definitely love randomness.
Woohoo! Okay. My random question is, what is your favorite thing to do on a Saturday morning?
Oh my gosh. Sleep.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I could sleep in, I'm a happy girl. I wake up, I make a sloppy breakfast, fattening breakfast. I love my coffee. I love my two toast, my 2 pieces of toast. I love putting my cheese in my coffee.
Cheese in your coffee?
I don't know if it's a Hispanic thing, but I used to do it like I know. My husband looks at me. He's
what do you mean? Like sprinkling? What do you mean putting cheese in your? What does that mean?
I love taking my coffee when it's super hot. I love taking mozzarella cheese and putting it in there because it melts.
No kidding.
I used to do this forever, and then when people looked at me that I was weird, I was like, oh, this is not known. And honestly, right now, I do that in the morning and I just watch Fringe. So it's very long show, has a whole bunch of seasons.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do anything because I'm always doing something.
Right.
I know, I wish it was fancy, like, oh, I run.
No.
I make my kale shake.
Your kale shake.
Please.
Please.
Oh, come on. I do my mantras or yoga. No. Look, trust me, that is the goal, to get to that place where I can have my green drink and do my mantras and running and do the yoga and do something fancy. No.
Not anytime soon.
If I can drool till 11.
Awesome.
Look, it's definitely an accomplishment if I can do it till noon. And then just be sloppy and be happy watching Fringe. That is my happy time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So as we wrap up, is there anything else you want to plug or mention?
Anything else that I want to plug? Let's see. Like I said, if you can, go to Media-Gypsy.com, sign up for my newsletter on the right-hand side. I have amazing projects that I'm working on with people. The fact that you and I have connected, girl, my hamster wheel. My hamster wheel. Honestly, I just want to be able to collaborate and work with people like you that inspire people that are just working to just put a happy message out there and just to let people know that it's all about chasing your dream and it's possible. That's the type of people that I want to be around.
Yeah, me too.
The fact that I'm definitely relaunching my website, working on Sticks and Stones, and definitely working on my company. Those are two definitely going to be very close to my heart because you're really going to see who I am as a person. Media-Gypsy is all about being real, having these moments together. And if you definitely want to be a part of the ride, definitely check it out, Media-Gypsy.com.
Awesome. And so if someone wants to book you for something, what's the best way to reach you?
You guys can check out my website, AndreaOcampo.com.
Okay.
There's definitely a little email form that you can fill out or find me on social media. Honestly, the easiest way to get a hold of me is social media because I always try to answer people as soon as I can on social media. But you're awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for...
And I just finished my wine.
Oh, yeah. It was good. Thank you so much for doing this, though.
Girl, absolutely.
This was so much fun.
I know. It's like girl time.
I was excited about it, but this was even more fun than I
really?
anticipated. It was going to be.
I was super excited. Anytime that I can have an opportunity to girl talk, I'm all about it.
It's nice. It's the only time I really get girly is when,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, anytime that I can just be me, it's just nice to just really be honest, really talk about the nitty-gritty about things,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of conversations.
Good. Me too. Yay!
Thank
Can
you.
you can I ask you to sign off the podcast? I'm doing that right now. Just saying, hi. This has been Andrea Ocampo with Curve the Cube. You can English or Spanish. You surprise me.
Okay, amigos! Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Andrea Ocampo for Curve the Cube.
Yay! Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
You have successfully curved the cube.